Hello, periods 1, 2, and 3. For those of you who are out today, we are starting chapter 4. Today with section 1, we're going to start talking about finding the area of a parallelogram. Okay, so finding the area of a parallelogram, opposite sides are parallel. We can talk about parallelograms as being rectangles. It could be a square, obviously a parallelogram, or rectangle, square, parallelogram. Pretty much those are it. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We should know to find the area, we're doing length times width. So if it's a rectangle like this first one is, on the top line, we are going to get into the habit of writing the formula on line 1. Area equals length times width. Second line, we're going to substitute in for the length, which is 8, and the width, which is 3. Remember to use your dot or parentheses. Let's not use a times sign anymore, a multiplication or an X. And then we're going to solve on the third line. 8 times 3 is 24. This one did not have any units. It didn't say feet or inches. So we're just going to say units. And it's always squared when we're doing area. It's the amount of space inside this rectangle. Okay, so I don't just want you writing 24. I want to see the formula, substitute in for length and width, then solve. The second one, this one is a parallelogram. Opposite sides are parallel. It's not length times width anymore. Area of a parallelogram, we do the base times the height, or B times H. So here, the base is obviously the bottom, what it's sitting on. The base is 6. The height, here's what's really important. The height is straight up and down vertical. You will never use the diagonal. Let's write that in our notes. Do not use diagonal. Okay, we're not going to use that slant height. So base 6, height is 10 inches. And then we can multiply. 6 times 10 is 60 inches squared. Okay, again, the amount of space inside. Sometimes throughout the lesson, it's not going to have a pretty shape for you. It's just going to tell you that a B is 3.5 centimeters, the H is 9 centimeters, which means we're dealing with a parallelogram. So the formula is area equals base times height. It tells us the base is 3.5 centimeters. The height is 9 centimeters. So we just need to do 3.5 times 9 to get 31.5 centimeters squared. Okay. On the second page, some of these starting off will have the grids in the back. Okay. So yes, could you start there and count the amount of spaces inside? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yes, you could. However, when you get to other shapes like this, some of the shapes, there's only half. Okay. So what I would still like for you to do is count the length. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is the length. Count the height. 1, 2, 3, or the width. Sorry, length and width is 4 times 3, which gives us 12 units squared. Okay. Over here, we have a parallelogram. Here's how we're going to look at this one. The base is the bottom, what it is sitting down on. You're going to go from point to point. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4 units. So the base is 4 units. Height. listen to me, you're going to go from the point straight down for the height. So 1, 2, 3 is going to be our height. So again, 4 times 3 is 12 units squared. Okay, so if you look, one's a rectangle, one's a parallelogram, some of that has been cut, it's slanted, they're both still 12 units. Number 3, again, we're going to count from point to point. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is the base, what it's sitting on. The height, go from the point straight down, 2. So again, area is base times height, 6 by 2. Again, we're going to get 12 units squared. So look at how different the shapes are, how large, small they all are, and we're all getting 12 for each one of these. And then the rectangle, length times width. Again, you're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for the length and 2 for the width. 6 times 2 again is 12. So we have 12 units squared. Okay, guys. The rest of the period, since we have done those notes, will be starting on tomorrow's e-learning assignment. So you may go ahead and find the box page for tomorrow, 154 through 156, and go ahead and start on that assignment. Remember, I want to see the formula on the top row, substitute in for the second row, start solving on the third row. Make sure you are labeling everything, inches squared, centimeters squared, whatever it is to the second power.